And how are we over this?
Amazing, bro.
Good?
Amazing.
So I wanted to bring you in today, yeah, because you got an amazing special story. An amazingly special story. You've lived in 3 different nations. Not stayed there, but actually lived in 3 different nations. You've learned 3 different languages. You've grown up how to be a man, live on your own, and all of this before the age of 20.
Yeah, still 20.
Still 20. It's an inspiring story. And also, but the thing that I really did want to get you in on is how you navigated the system as a single father, and not just a normal single father, but a successful single father, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of us will sit here and say, all right, yeah, I'm a dad, or I got kids and I love my kids, but the kids are with their mum. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're just there maybe on the weekends, every second weekend, and just go pick up the kid. Hey.
Yeah.
Literally, when they say pick up the kid, they pick up the kid, put them back down and just walk off. You know what I mean? But you've got your kids every day with you. So your daughter with you every day. You know what I mean? And I think that's a testimony to who you are. And I wanted you to speak on your story and who you were. You know what I mean? Let's go into a child, bro. The young Abdus, growing up.
Well, I was starting when you really start growing up. What are you, 10?
When you start
like 10. 11, you start realizing what's going on.
Yep.
I was still in Pakistan, so I was living there, you know, and then my dad was in Dubai at that time.
Mm-hmm. And if you don't mind me asking, what was your dad doing?
My dad does something in IT, bro. Till this day, I don't know what he does in IT, but
he had a good, well-off job.
Yeah, well-off job in Dubai. So eventually he called us after a couple of years when I was 11 and 12. He called us to Dubai. We moved to Dubai, whole family, you know.
How was that process, though? Because saying, yeah, we moved to Dubai, that's one thing, but I know, being from my family, being from Ethiopia, you can't just get up and leave, bro.
Nah,
you know what I mean? It's a hectic process, bro.
It's a big process, like getting passports in Pakistan, bro.
Yep.
Oh, it's not as easy as an Australian passport.
No.
You can't just apply, go to post office,
wait a couple
bing
weeks,
bang,
wait a
done.
fortnight,
Nah, mate, you gotta go to this passport office for 3 days in a row, bro. And you gotta line up 6 in the morning, bro. So if you're clocking into a shift.
Yeah.
And you're standing there with your whole family, you know, trying to get this passport sorted, so then you can go overseas. Then you have to basically pack everything up, your whole house, you know, and then ship it off.
How many siblings did you have, if you don't mind me asking?
I had 3 siblings, so 1 older brother and 2 little sisters.
2 little sisters. So there's all up. There's
five of us.
Yep.
And what is it called? It was my grandparents as well. So it was my grandma and my grandpa from my dad's side. So his parents.
7 people got up and gone all at one time. Okay,
so we all had to move.
Salute to your father, man.
Yeah, so we all moved together. Whereas I think we left my grandma and grandpa, I can't remember which one. One of them we had to leave behind because their visas didn't get approved or something. Okay. And then within the next month they still came, but not the same.
Moment.
Yeah, not in the moment.
Yep.
Yeah, and then it was actually quite unreal when you were sitting in that plane and I landed in Dubai. You know, I thought I was still dreaming, you know.
Did you know that you were heading to Dubai? Obviously, you knew you were going to Dubai, but as a 10-year-old, what's your understanding of Dubai?
Dubai was the desert to me, bro. From my dad used to tell me when we used to come, like it's a desert. It's like, you know, it's nothing like Pakistan. It's not greenery and stuff like that, but it's big desert. It's very hot out there. But it's a nice city, you know. It's very much more civilized than what Pakistan is. And then we walked well.
And you know what? I'm a historical geek. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Karachi.
Yeah.
Like, in fairness to Pakistan and Karachi, we have to say that Karachi was a much more civilized city before Dubai even had a building.
Yeah.
Okay. So just to let the viewers know, because a lot of people don't know this.
Yeah.
They think Dubai has always been Dubai. You know what I mean?
Dubai only started popping off when we moved there. So, my dad went to Dubai in 2003. That's when I was born. But he didn't move there. That's when he went to go try out the jobs. But there was nothing there. There was no opportunities, nothing. It was just the desert. And then eventually, with the years went along, you know, opportunities started popping up. You know, country developed. I think one of the first jets they got, like the airline, Emirates Airline, one of the airplanes they got was from our airline, Pakistan Airline, that we handed to them.
Yep.
And now they're one of the biggest airlines in the world, man. They popped off.
Yeah, they're probably the biggest.
Yeah,
absolutely.
One of the biggest airlines in the world.
No, that's an interesting one, man. And when you landed in Dubai, Did you get sent to an area that was mainly predominantly like Pakistani Indians, or was it a mixture of everything?
It was a mixture of everything. So as soon as we landed, we got out of the plane, and there was you can hire a service where they take your family through the whole airport, and you don't have to do anything basically.
Okay.
So there's a lady holding up a sign saying "Marhaba," which is welcome in Arabic.
Yeah.
And then says the name at the bottom, the family name. Just follow them. They take us in a bus, get all the immigration, all stuff done. You walk out. And the first thing I did, my dad gave me some money when he was in Pakistan. Yeah. Some Dubai money, dirhams. I went to the duty free. I got myself a drink, and I tasted the drink. So the drink tasted so nice, bro. That drink was a moment of relaxation, bro. I thought I was still dreaming, bro.
Oh yeah, I'm like, you taste in heaven. Now you're like, look at me.
I'm like, damn, this aircon's blasting in my face.
Yeah. Everything's
nice.
Seen as glossy and nice. And
whereas when we were moving, in the process of moving from Pakistan to Dubai, you know, we was living in, bro, it gets pretty hot. It gets up to 40 degrees in Lahore, but that's where we were. And we had no aircon or anything because we pulled everything out. We sold everything, bro. So I was sleeping with frozen bottles under my chest, bro. So I was like, you know, it keeps me cool through the night.
It's actually a good idea though, bro.
Yeah.
I should have thought of that when I didn't have an aircon, right? Frozen bottles, guys.
Frozen bottles.
Oh,
And that was it, bro.
Hey.
And then, so when we walked in the airport with the aircon blasting in our faces, bro, like, damn, this is nice. And yeah.
Beautiful. And with that, because your father was employed in a well-to-do job and everything, did they have everything set for you guys, the area, the house, and everything?
Yeah. So we lived in an apartment in Dubai. So it was a 3-bedroom apartment that we lived in. So 1 bedroom was for me, my sisters, and everyone, and then 1 was for my grandparents, 1 was for my mom and dad.
Beautiful. And being 10-year-old Abdus, yeah, speaking Urdu, understanding Hindi, dropped into an Arabic-speaking country.
Yeah.
What was the first thing in your mind? How to communicate and things like that?
It's quite surprising. When I landed there, my dad always told me, you know, a lot of people do speak Urdu and Hindi there, so you can easily conversate with them. It's not that hard. And I knew bits of English, right? Because I was still learning English in Pakistan as well. So I spoke English, not fluently, but head of English. If someone didn't know how to speak Urdu or Hindi,
you can communicate.
I can still communicate with them.
Yep.
And then when I went to school, when I was enrolled into school, that was basically when I realized, you know, it's quite similar. You had Pakis, Indians, and then you had Arabs, and yeah, Bengalis as well.
And when you when you say Arabs, what type of Arabs were in the schools with you? Were they Emiratis or were they like other Arabs, Syrians, Egyptians?
Nah, so there was a lot more Egyptians.
Okay.
Yeah, you had Egyptians. You have there was one more. Can't remember, but there was another guy who was very popular. It was towards the African side of
Moroccan?
Yeah, I think
Algerian?
so. Nah, it was
Tunisian?
No. I can't remember because it doesn't come to my mind. But if it does, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was very multicultural. So coming from Pakistan, it was all Pakis. You know, no one really.
But low-key, Pakistan's multicultural as well, right? Like, from the outside looking in, everyone looks Pakistani. Yeah. But when you're there, you realize, bro, there's like bloody 50 different languages here. There's different bloodlines, there's different this, that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. There's a lot of history based behind Pakistan and where it comes from.
That's an interesting one. No, I really do. I really do see that. And at the age of 10, what did you get enrolled to when you went into school?
What do you mean?
Like, what class were you in?
I was in year 4, I think.
Yeah?
And then I got enrolled into year 4.
Was that an easy transition, the year 4 in Pakistan versus year 4 in Dubai?
Yeah, because it was the same. So in Pakistan, we were learning the Cambridge board. So it was European education. Yep. They were doing in Pakistan, not the Pakistan board.
Okay.
So when we moved to Dubai, we did the same Cambridge board.
So you were going to an international school?
Yeah, so we were doing, so we were, when I left Dubai, I was almost going into GCSEs. Okay. That's UK, so yeah. All
right. And how long would you stay in Dubai with your family?
6 years. Yeah.
In your mind at the time, were you thinking you're gonna be in Dubai forever?
Well, yeah, that was the idea of it, behind it. But then, as soon as you turn 18 in Dubai, you can't live under your parents' roof anymore. You have to get your own visa, your own job, your own everything. So my mum and dad were like, oh, yeah, they won't be able to do, uni, college and all that stuff by themselves. So what we'll do is we'll find a country where we have a stronger passport. That was my dad's shift to moving to Australia.
Okay.
So he tried to move to Canada, UK, but that got knocked back. So then we moved to Australia.
And how was that prospecting with your dad moving to Australia? Did he have to come out similar to Dubai? He come out earlier, checked out?
Nah, so when visas first got approved, it was in 2016. We came out here for the first time in Docklands. So we lived for 3 months.
Okay.
It was like a holiday.
But you would have been thinking this place is like Dubai, bro.
I'm like, it's the same thing.
I'm Docklands.
Yeah, I'm like, this is not that bad.
Yeah.
You got trams going.
Yeah.
It was still a bit more dead than compared to
Obviously, the street in Docklands.
Docklands.
But it looks visually amazing.
Yeah.
But you're right. Yeah.
But then, it was a nice 4-bedroom apartment that we had.
4-bedroom apartment in Docklands.
Yeah, 4-bedroom apartment.
You would be forking out, brother.
Bro, I don't know how much that cost,
but forking out.
It was nice. It was nice. It was a nice view of the harbour as well. It was right on the harbour. And then, stayed there for 3 months. Really got to know about Melbourne. Surprisingly, we left to go Dandenong a couple of times because we had mates there. But then I realised there's another side to Melbourne.
Let me write this story. All right, so you came from Dubai.
Yeah.
Yeah? Dubai, Burj Khalifa.
Yeah.
Huh? Ferrari, Lamborghinis. Huh?
Nice roads.
Souk Dahab, everything, yeah? Docklands, still up there.
Yeah.
Like, boom, all right, Australia's amazing. Dandenong.
Oh yeah, when I went Dandenong, the streets got narrower, people changed. There was no more white people.
And people at the train stations weren't actually waiting for trains. They were just hanging around, just chilling and
At
stuff.
that point, I never knew about a junkie, nothing like that.
Okay, I mean...
I wasn't exposed to any of that environment. I was never exposed to homelessness.
Yeah,
Even in Pakistan, I wasn't exposed to stuff like that.
Yeah.
So when I was in Dubai, I never anything like that.
Yeah.
So when I saw something like that, I asked my dad a couple of questions, like, "Oh, don't worry about it." He just sit there.
Just ignore it. Let it be.
Yeah, just ignore it. Just let him be.
Yeah.
Like, okay, maybe I just don't have money to live. Then as I grew up, I realized,
you start understanding.
What it is and who they are. Therefore.
That's an interesting one, Abdus. So, and then. What happened with the Dandenong stay? Did you have to stay any extended periods in Dandenong?
No. We went for day visits here and there, a couple of days, because my dad does have mates that moved from Dubai to Australia as well. Mm-hmm. So we went to go visit them, their family, they showed us.
And obviously there's a Pakistani community out there and things like that.
So
all right,
wasn't that bad.
So then when did you end up settling when you landed in Australia? What year?
2018 is when we officially planned to move here.
Okay.
So we moved here in 2018, back in Docklands again. So we stayed in Docklands for a month.
Okay.
And then we moved to Craigieburn for another month in an Airbnb.
Yep.
And then from that, we couldn't find any rental property, bro. Nothing at all.
Been hard, yeah. 2018 you said?
Yeah, 2018, yeah. And then we had to, because the Airbnb expired and we were like, look, we can't just keep Airbnb-ing. So we had to move to Dandenong, but we were planning to live in Craigieburn. And then driving out to Craigieburn, inspecting properties and stuff. Bought a car, and then we eventually moved to Craigieburn. And then that was like the big settlement. That's when I realized, when I started going to school, when I got enrolled to the school, and it was a public school. So I really saw, like these people don't care about it.
How was that, Abdus? Because I understand that you mentioned that you went to international school while you were in Pakistan and in Dubai. So you've learned your English.
Yeah.
But you've obviously got a very good level of English. For somebody who's been in Australia, what now, 6 years?
6 years.
6 years, yeah? What was your English like when you landed and when you were put into public school in Craigieburn?
My English itself?
Yeah.
As in grammar and vocabulary, that was all there.
Yeah.
That wasn't anything to mess with too much. But the accent itself, it was very heavy. It was completely different. It was nothing like what I talk now.
Because also the accent's non-existent.
Yeah.
I can't hear any Pakistani accent in there. I can't.
Yeah. So that was a major thing, when I walked into school and I started talking, and then you start getting pointed out by people, this guy's fresh, this guy's fresh. He just moved. And I'm like, I don't know what this means, but it means something clearly. And then what's it called?
Fresh.
Yeah.
that word fresh, bro. Oh my God, wallahi. Yeah.
And then people started saying fob. And I'm like, what's a fob, bro? keep up, you know. What are you trying to call me, bro? I had no clue what they're talking about at this point. And then eventually I learned, you know, all the sayings and slangs, Aussie slangs, and then as time went along, I picked up the accent.
You picked up the accent pretty quickly, bro. So how long would you say? Like within a year or so?
I would say 2 years is what took me. 2 years. At 2020, I was like, my English was.
That's impressive.
Like no one would tell.
That's impressive. Now, Abdus, I want to ask you a question, yeah? Because what we're about to reveal and the story that we're going to get into now is very, very telling and it's very important. But I want to see what you got out of what your father did. The grind that he did for the family, grabbing him out of Pakistan to Dubai, from Dubai to Australia. Do you see that in a different light now that you're a father?
Yeah, look, my father did inspire me a lot.
Yeah.
As you know, me and my father never had like an emotional relationship like a lot of people do. Yeah. I spoke to him, I still talk to him, but you know, we don't really say, I don't really go up to my father and say, no, I don't say, oh, I love you, Dad. You know, we don't say stuff like that. It's just culturally, they were just dull. Yeah, you know, it's just how it is. But his statement of what a father is, or what he portrayed himself to be, is what I'm trying to be as well. I think that is main reason what I am today. It's because of him.
100%. And the fact is that I like when you sit there and you said, he doesn't say I love you, or we don't have that type of relationship. But at the same time, he says I love you in different ways. He says it with his actions. Yeah. He dragged you out of Pakistan. He dragged you out of Dubai. He set up, you know what I mean? Gave you guys as much as you can. Gives you advice every time you need it. Yeah. So I've met him as well. Very, very strong man. You know what I mean? Very good man. So I do salute him for that. So by the sounds of it, your dad set you up for the next chapter of life that you didn't know that you were about to head into. Yeah. Pretty much. Never. A big slap to the face that you copped, huh?
Oh, I never knew I was gonna be our dad this young. Yeah. Never. I never thought. I was like, I never thought I was gonna have kids at one point. Yeah. When I was growing up, I was like, nah, I'm not having kids, bro. It's too much headache, you know. I don't want to deal with it. And then still love kids. I just didn't want any of my own. It's like I don't want that responsibility.
And especially coming from the religious background that your family grew up with, you know what I mean? They're on deen and everything. Yeah. So I can understand that. So talk me through it, Abdus. You're in Craigieburn. Senior. Is that what it's called?
Senior what?
School. What's it called?
Mount Ridley.
Mount Ridley.
Mount Ridley.
I don't know what's going on in Craigieburn, bro. Yeah, Mount Ridley, Mount Ridley.
North side, mate.
All right?
North side.
Whatever it is, the north side, right? You're in a school in the north side.
Yeah.
You meet someone that you really care about and that cares about you. Yep. How old were you and what year were you in?
Well, we were 16. 16 is when we started. You know, I worked at Macca's. I started working at Macca's when I was 15.
Good stuff.
Yeah, so when I started working at Macca's at 15.
So legally, as soon as you were able to work, you
I had to convince my parents to let me work, and then eventually they let me work. Yep. I started working at the old Craigieburn Macca's. People who would know, they would know the old Craigieburn Macca's. That's when I started because I lived close to it, and eventually moved to Greenville Macca's near Roxburgh.
Yeah, I know where Greenville Macca's is. So right next to that roundabout where Carl's Jr. is now, yeah?
No, that's a different one. Huh. It's close. Okay. That's a different one.
All right, yeah?
Yeah. Started working there. And then, we were going to school, you know, we went to school together, and then we started working together. So it was like a lot of time we spent together. I used to do 38 hours a week at Macca's, and then I used to do full-time schooling as well. So my weekends would look like I used to wake up at 6 in the morning. I would either have 7 a.m. starts or 6 a.m. starts. So it depends, 6 a.m. waking up or 5 a.m. waking up on the weekends. Working until 4 p.m. to 4:30, and then come back home, and then basically chill, play games, whatever, you know, teenager stuff. And then we were heading into lockdown as well at that time. So I had really nothing to do at that point, you know? So all I was doing was making a lot of money, sitting at home, bro. Yeah. And I'm, 16 at that point. I'm making, $4,000 a month for a 16-year-old is a lot. That's good. A lot of money, bro.
Yeah. You're not paying no rent.
I'm not paying, I wasn't paying anything. So I was just like, what do I do, man? Is this what I'm going to do? Is this what it is? But nah, eventually, after keep working at Macca's, after graduating, I was like, nah, I have to leave Macca's, man. This ain't gonna cut it, bro. And at this point, I didn't know I was gonna be a father or anything like that. But I was like, you know, I need to have a step that it needs to take me in the right direction. Did try real estate.
Okay,
Yeah, I didn't like it. I'm like, I'm not working well.
What was the situation?
No, I just didn't want to look at pretty pennies, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was like, at the start, you know, you get paid like shit.
Mm-hmm.
But then eventually, you work your way up.
Well, how much do they get? 5%?
Yeah, it's something like commissions. You work based on your commissions, but I just didn't want to do it, so I just left.
Fair enough, it wasn't for you.
Yeah. And then, then I just started, I was like, you know, I really need to leave back because I need to get out of this comfortable space. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to quit.
Okay.
I'm like, if I quit, I'll need money. I'll need a way to make money one way or another.
And this was just an overnight decision. You said, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm like, I need to quit. It was an overnight decision, but I didn't quit the next day.
But in your head, you said, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck it. I'll send my resignation in. And then sending my resignation in to my manager. And then 2 weeks later, I quit. And then at that point, I had no job, nothing. I was just like, oh, okay.
Can I tell you one thing, Abdus, yeah? And this has got nothing to do with you, yeah? This is just left field. This is the way my brain works. What's the point of giving 2 weeks notice if you're going to quit?
Look,
why do you owe them 2 weeks?
Look, it's because the only reason I did it, yeah? I didn't like anyone there, bro.
Yeah.
I didn't like anyone there. At that time, I had a fresh breakup. I was going through things emotionally and mentally in my head. I was going through like, you know, it's my first proper breakup and, you know, what do I do? Where do I improve from here? Mm-hmm. What do I really need to do? And then I'm like, the only way I would ever think of myself as I've really leveled up is if I make more money.
Yeah.
If I make more money, I'm the better person in the end. That's it. And then I was like, fuck it, I need to quit.
So jumped out there.
Yeah, so that's why I give 2 weeks notice, because you need to have those relationships. Because even people back then from that manager phases, yeah, I can still hit them up because they don't all work at Macca's anymore.
Yeah.
They might work at a car dealership. So if I want to go out, buy a car now, I can go to them. I can be like, hey man, how are you?
Yeah.
You know, you still have the relationship. But if you burn bridges all the time, then your life's networking.
Right there. And that's why you're in the position you're in right now.
Yeah.
Literally, like, it's always good to leave a relationship on good terms.
Yeah.
Always. Like, you never know when you can double back, when you need to double back, or if you have to double back. So even if you don't need to double back, it's just keeping good relations with everybody is so important. So that's a very good one. That's a very good one. All right, hit it. Continue.
Yeah. So then I left Macca's. Then I had no job for a couple of weeks.
And you so parallel while you're going through Macca's, you're going through the breakup as well.
Yeah. So this was 2022.
Okay.
So 2 years ago.
Yep.
Started Jan. You know, I was like, oh, I can't do this anymore. I used to do day shifts, and I'm like, I'll move to overnight shifts instead. Starting the overnight shifts, it was just not it, bro. I just didn't like it, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, what am I doing, bro? I'm like,
you're calling.
I understand the fact that I'm young, but I can't use it as an excuse, bro.
Yeah.
I can't use it as an excuse for the rest of my life. I'm not gonna stay young for the rest of my life. And then,
make that move now.
Yeah. So I'm like, fuck it, I need to leave. So within 6 months from then, in June, I gave my 2 weeks, and I was like, I'm gonna leave. And then I left. And then at 2 weeks, I had no job, nothing, and I was living with my parents. So I still had food on the table. I still had a place to live, you know.
And how were your parents? Were they on your back in any way, saying you need to get another job or you need to do this? No, they were cool with it. Yeah?
No, they wanted me to leave Macca's. So there was like a plus for them. They're like, you know, like start working somewhere else, do something else.
They respect that.
Yeah, so like, you know, it's like, oh, I finally quit.
Good.
And then I'm like, I need to get another job. And then these were agencies that hire people to do casual work. You know, it could be anything. And then I'm like, all right, let's try it. I called up an agency. I'm like, hey, Annie, I'm looking for casual work. He's like, all right, I have a job for you tomorrow. 8 a.m. be at, what is it called? Home and Industries. Okay. The workplace.
In Broadmeadows?
Yeah, Broadmeadows.
Okay, yep.
Go there. I'm like, all right, fine, I'll go there. Went there. I worked the first day. Then I'm like, it was heavy lifting. It was like unloading containers, yeah. Okay. So I'm thinking, I'm like, damn, it's tough work. And then the next day, I was meant to go in because it was 5 days, you know, full-time work, like casual.
You gotta be there constantly.
Yeah. Then next day, I pulled up to the site. I was outside with my mate, yeah. I'm like, fuck this, bro, I'm not going in. And then I was sitting outside my workplace, and I called the workplace. I'm like, I'm not coming in. I'm like, I'm feeling sick. I mean, my mate went, we got breakfast. And then when we got that breakfast, yeah, we're like, what are we doing, bro? He's like, we had to go to work, bro. We have to face these challenges. He's like, what are we doing? And then from there,
That was when you turned around, looked at each other. We have to go to work. We have to face each other.
yeah, we have to do it, bro. Like, what are we doing, bro? I'm like, what? We're gonna just keep calling in
We're gonna
sick,
sit in the car, just have breakfast every day together. Yeah.
I'm like, nah, this ain't, bro. This is not it. And then, yeah, what is it called? Since that day, we made a promise.
That's the click. That was the click moment.
we made a promise to each other. We're like, you're gonna hold me accountable. I'm gonna hold you accountable.
Good.
Going to work, gonna work your hours.
Good.
Like, no matter how hard the work is, you're gonna get it done.
Good.
And then that's why I started going in. I'm like, let's fuck it. It's just
when you started to just
unloading.
You shifted your mentality.
Yeah.
And then you started not started to enjoy it, but you put it in your mind to this is what I need to do. So let me just make good with whatever I'm here now to do. Okay.
I'm like I quit Macca's. I left that place, and now I've got the job here. I still have work to do. I can still do this. I'm like, fuck it. I started unloading, and then a couple of months time, I started seeing people get paid differently. You know, you get paid more money if you do this, you do that, and then I see forklift drivers get paid more. I'm like, this is an opportunity, bro. I'm like, I see I'm working with 30-year-olds, but no one's as young as me, bro. So I have time on my hand.
Yeah.
Time is all that I have. Might not have the knowledge, I might not have the experience, bro, but time is something that they don't have, bro, and they can't buy it. They can buy knowledge and experience, but they can't buy my time, bro.
Time is the most expensive thing in life.
Yeah. So
time, if you continue.
Yeah, so 3 months working in home, and I'm like, let's do this, bro. Let's go and get that forklift license, and then got my forklift license, started working there, and then I would like to say I was pretty good because I was getting good feedback from my bosses, like, you know, you're pretty good, and then I started doing from unloading. I'm sitting on a forklift now. So what I didn't like to do, unloading, I didn't enjoy it because I'm like, I don't want to be lifting boxes and hurting my back all day, bro. So I started sitting down on a forklift. I'm like,
now you're just on the receiving end of it.
Yeah, so I was like, this is calm, this is easy, it's not hard at all.
Yeah.
And then eventually.
So everything was looking good. You were getting a job that you were paid much more. Everything's you're opening your circles of communication.
Yep.
You're widening your influence, sphere of influence. You get that call.
Yeah. Then one day I'm at work. So I'll backtrace this a bit. Yeah. So it was November of 2022. Okay. I went on a holiday to Adelaide to watch a cricket game. Okay. With my boys. We went on a road trip. Nice road trip. Yeah. Came back to work on Monday. And as I'm working, I get a call. I'm like, it's an unknown call, unknown call ID. I never pick him up, never. And then I'm like, you know what? I'll pick this one up. I pick it up. It was my ex, you know, on the phone. I'm like, what do you want? And then she goes like, oh, you know, I don't want you to freak out, blah, blah, blah. You know, we have a kid together. And then I'm like, it better not be a joke, bro. If this is a joke, this is not a funny one. Okay? And then she's like, no, I'm being serious. I'm like, all right, I want to see it now. And then she's like, no, you can't see it now. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, it's just a joke then, bro. I didn't believe it at all.
Of course, as you should.
I did not believe it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, where are you now? She's like, I'm in the Broadmeadow shopping centre. I'm like, all right, sweet. I headed down there. I'm like, I'll leave work now, and I'll come meet you there. Yeah. I went and I saw her, and then she showed me photos of the kid and whatnot. She explained her story to me. And then I'm like, okay. I'm like, why don't you tell me earlier? He was like, oh, I didn't want that responsibility on you. I don't know what you're gonna say. I don't know if you're gonna take care of it, or I don't know. I just didn't want to bother you anymore. I'm like, okay. I mean, your choice. I'll let you be. You know. You must have been through. You know, you were pregnant. I don't know how that feels. So I can't say anything on it.
And look, just to interject me here, right? Yeah. We got to give her some grace. Yeah. The fact is that she was a teenager. Yeah. She's gone through a process that's life-changing. She's given birth to a whole human being. Her relationship with her family maybe not as, you know what I mean, not as good. Maybe we don't know what her relationship is outside of that. So we've got to give her the grace. You know what I mean? And
well, I was always thankful for her. You know. Yeah. She brought the kid into this world safely, and you know the kid's still alive. You know?
She did a job. Yeah.
Yeah. You know. Yeah. So props off to her. You know, she's done it all by herself as well. So not much help from anyone. Yeah. Not her parents. No one. So. Yeah, when I got that, I saw the photos of my child and everything, and then I think it took me 3 weeks until I could see my child physically, face to face. And then it was in Footscray. They organised like a centre where you can go see a kid, you know, but it has to be supervised because they don't know me, and then there was some things going on along in the back as well. You know, there was they didn't know you're a 20-year-old father. You know, you could be on anything, bro. And then
were you still look? I'm just saying me, Hakim. Yeah.
yeah,
If I was messing with a chick, and then I just get a call, how much months later, yeah?
yeah,
And then saying, hey, we got a kid together. I'm gonna look and be like, hey, you've got a kid. I don't have a kid, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know what you've been doing for the last 6 months. You know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go make sure that the kid's mine. Let me do a DNA test,
Yeah.
this, that, woo. What was the process with you? Did you automatically say, hey, this is my kid, I'm gonna step up? Or were you suspicious in that situation?
Look, to a sense, I did still have that trust. I'm like, you know, because I knew when we broke up, I knew she was pregnant, but then she didn't want it. So I'm like, okay, fair enough. And then I asked her a couple of times. She's like, yeah, no, nothing. It's nothing. Don't worry about it. I'm like, okay, fine. And then we're breaking up. We've stopped contacting each other. We don't talk to each other. Nothing. You know, like we've gone our separate ways. So in my head, I'm thinking, you know, there's no more kid anymore.
No.
There is nothing. There's nothing left.
Yeah.
And that's why when I got that call, I was in shock. But I was like, you know, what the hell just happened? And then I went in there. I told them, you know, I knew she was pregnant. That's why it was a sense of trust. I'm like, you know, it could be my kid.
Yeah.
And the timelines matched up and everything like that. So they offered me themselves. They're like, you know, you should do a DNA test just to be sure,
Good.
you know, before you tell your parents, before you tell anyone. I'm like, all right, fine, let's do a DNA test. And then we did a DNA test, and then they came back to be mine. I'm like, okay, good news, you know?
That's good, yeah. At least I know.
yeah,
I can move
yeah.
forward now. Now I know what I need to do, step up, this, that, yep.
And then we moved forward, and then what is it called? The day I got the news that it is mine, that I got the DNA test, that weekend, I told my parents, and that was the biggest part. That was like that was the crushing ball.
Okay. Now, I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say I'm gonna make the assumption that Mum didn't take it to her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk us through it, bro.
So, what is it called? I'm like, I had to tell my parents one way or another, you know. I'm like, I can't hide a kid from my parents. I can hide a lot of stuff. I might do other stuff behind their back, you know, and I can hide that stuff. But this is something I just can't hide. It is their blood as well, bro.
Their blood's flowing through it,
yeah, you know.
Yep.
And then, and I'm like, I don't know. I think every man is, you know, wants to take their kid and show their parents, you know, they want to be proud of it. Yeah, it's a proud moment, you know. It's something different about it.
Yep.
And then that weekend, I'm like, you know, Mum and Dad, I'll take you out for breakfast. And I wanted
to prepare it, yeah.
Look, I didn't want it to be in a home
You
setting.
didn't just rock up at home and be like, Mum, I've got a kid here, look, have a look.
Yeah. So I didn't want it to be at a home setting, only because I didn't want to cop it, bro. I'll be honest with you, I didn't want to
The rat was gonna come out, huh?
Yeah, I didn't want to cop it. I'm like, you know what? Let's play safe. If I do it in a public space, you know, they can't get it.
They can't get it too much.
Yeah. And then I took him out for breakfast. You know, we had a nice time, and then I didn't tell him my breakfast. I took him out for breakfast to tell them, but I didn't tell them.
So you pulled back out. The courage just went back.
You know what was funny? We were at breakfast, and it was a Pakistani joint in Faulkner.
Hey.
And there was a baby sitting right next to us in like a little cot, right?
Okay.
And I'm thinking, I'm like, damn, I'm gonna tell my parents I have a baby. This guy's gonna look at that baby and assume it's mine, bro. And then I'm like, no. Let's pull back. I'm like, you know, I'll tell them. And then I started thinking to myself, maybe I don't want to tell them. And I'm like, no, I have to. What I did was I sent my mum photos. When they went shopping after, I was sitting in the car, they went shopping. And then when the shopping was done, I'm like, Tommy, let me know. I'll pull her in the corner. I'll pull the car out. I send them photos. I pull the car in the corner, and then and then I'm like, Mum, have you checked your phone? And she goes like, nah, I haven't. I'm like, oh, okay, go check your phone. She's checking her phone. She's looking at the photos. I'm like, what do you see? She goes, who's that? I'm like, oh, that's my kid. And then she looks at me, shocked, like, he's joking, you know. He's in a funny mood. He's nice, you know. He's taking us for breakfast. Maybe he's just joking. Like, no, seriously, tell me, who is it? It's my kid. And then she goes like, oh, no, it's not. I'm like, look at it. What does it look like? And then she's sitting there looking at my kid. I mean, my kid didn't look like me, okay? So
it was still a kid.
It was a baby, you know. And then I'm thinking, I'm like, nah, she doesn't look like you. Nah, she doesn't look like you. And I'm like, nah, it's my kid.
Abdus, I know you, yeah? I think you're an extremely responsible human being. I think you've made amazing, you've made some bad choices in life, but you've made some choices that was able to, you were able to bounce back and actually progress further. But my man, that was a horrible way to tell your fucking parents, bro. Just send them pictures, send them pictures and tell mum, look at your message. That's a horrible way to tell your parents, man.
I had to, bro. I had to do one or another. Then when I'm thinking, I'm like, I have to do this, bro. I'm like, I can't cop it. I don't want to cop it.
Yeah.
I just need to tell them. And then at first, yeah, and then my mum, when eventually she realized, it's my kid. And then my dad was sitting next to me as well. And then she started crying, she got emotional. And then she's like, where is she? I want to see her. I want to see her. I want to see her. My mum can't see her, She was, because my kid was in foster care. So, well, you can't see the kid now. I'll try to set up a time. We can go see her. But I wanted to tell you guys. So if you accept the kid, I'll bring her into the house. We can live together. We can grow together. She's like, of course you can live in the house. It's my blood. It's my thing. And then I was shocked, bro.
So you were happy, sort of thing.
Yeah,
inside?
I'm thinking to myself, bro. Why would this can't be real, bro? This cannot be real. I'm thinking to myself, and then eventually we got home, and then I went out and bought all the stuff, the cot, the clothes, bottles, nappies, all that stuff that baby needs, bro. Bought everything. Brought all home, I'm assembling it, and then what is it called? My mom comes up to me, and my mom goes like, we gotta talk to you. Come talk to me, to your dad and me. I'm like, all right, let's go talk. Then the mom goes like, religiously, it's not your kid. And then I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, I have the DNA test. I can show you. It's my kid. I've done a DNA test. It's my blood running through that kid as well. And then she goes like, no, religiously it's not. And then I'm like, all right, so what are you saying? And she's like, she can't come to this house. And then in the moment where I was setting up everything, getting ready to...
That would have been tough. That would have been tough to handle, bro.
Yeah, and then I'm like, you know what?
I can't even lie, that would have been tough to handle, bro.
That's what I have to be, I guess.
But Abdus, now tell me this, yeah? What was the situation like when your child was in child protection? When mum told you, not your mum, but when the mother of the baby told you that this is your child, to you finding out that it's your child, getting the DNA test, to you trying to get custody of the child. What was that process like? Not later on fighting for her, but just that initial process.
So I walked into a center, so it's called, it was an adoption center, yeah? So the mother of the child, when she gave the kid up, she wanted to give her for adoption.
So she was already nearly gone? Baby MJ was already nearly gone to
yeah, so
adoption.
she was almost gone. So I've heard that, I don't know exactly, don't quote me on this. I've heard once you give birth, and at birth, if you want to give your child for adoption, they don't put the kid up straight for adoption straight away. They do a 3-month or something trial.
Okay.
They give you time to think about it 3 months after birth, because you're going through a lot of that time.
That's a great system there.
Yeah, so you're going through a lot, so they don't want you to just
make a irrational decision at the time.
And then you regret it later on, because if your child really goes up to adoption,
it's done.
You can't see your child. You're lucky if you can see it 2 times a year. That's the law. If you give your child up for adoption, if someone adopts your child, that's the law.
So you've legally given up everything.
Yeah, so unless the carer, as in the carers, they allow you, like they say, it's fine, we want you to see a child, then it's different, then that's your business.
But then that's the same way if I'm the father of my kids, I would just want a random to see my child, I can let them.
Yeah.
So your right is the same right as a random person, basically,
yep.
Once you put your kids up in adoption. Okay,
yep. So, what is it called? Yeah, so 3 months, that's why I got to know my daughter 3 months later, because they were pressuring the mother saying, where's the father? We need to know, because as your daughter, she has the legal right to know who her father is.
So when you let both you guys know before anything.
Yeah, so anything goes along, and then she came and told me. That's when it happened, and then I went to the adoption center, I started talking to them like I want to take her in, blah blah blah, and then there was some allegations made against me, saying I'm not the person I claim to be,
Okay. Because we're on camera here,
yeah.
Let's let people know what type of allegations, It's not, it's what type of allegations are these?
Alright, so look, I was called a druggie, called an alcoholic.
That's it. That's what I just want to let the people know, that it wasn't the Diddy allegations, you know what I mean? I just need to, that's because we need the allegations with the kid, people start questioning. So it's no Diddy allegations, okay, continue. Go.
So it's just, you're an alcoholic, you're you're a druggie, you're not responsible.
Which I can attest that you're not an alcoholic, you've never touched drugs in your life. Yeah, absolutely.
So take this statement back. I've touched drugs in my life.
But you've since I've met you, I've never seen you touch drugs in your life. Yeah.
What is it called? So when that happened, those allegations were made against me. The adoption center was like, we can't just hand you this baby over. We think it's best in the baby's interest that we get child protection on board. I'm like, okay, I'm not really scared of them, so get him on board. Let's get this done. Yeah, let's get this done.
You're not hiding anything.
I'm like, let's get this done. And then they go like, oh, okay. What are we going to do now is we're going to call child protection. We're going to let them know about your case, and they're going to file up a case, blah, blah, blah. And that is a horrendous process, honestly. That is bad. I thought it was easy, you know? I thought this government was very nice, you know? This whole process is going to be smooth and my child's going to come into my care ASAP. And then I'm thinking.
See, this is why, sorry to cut you off, this is why I wanted people to know. Yeah? The fact is that we know how simple it is for a single mother to fuck up and then go back to get a child. This is not, anyway, first of all, this is not a man versus woman bashing thing, you know what I mean? This is just strictly raising kids. We're talking about raising children. And if the mother's not fit to raise a child, then the father should be able to take care of it. But what you're going to hear is the process that the government puts fathers through when they want to step up and look after their children. Continue, my friend.
So I am like, all right, let's get child protection on board. I want to see what they have to say. I want to see where this is going to take me. I'm like, look, I don't have nothing to hide, you know. You can say whatever and everything you can.
I'm sorry to cut you off again, but at this point, the mother's already given up rights to the kid.
Look, this is where it got interesting, yeah?
Yeah.
The mother technically never gave the rights up to the kid.
Okay.
Because when you sign that paper up for adoption or something, you still have 3 months, and if that decision is not signed again, within 3 months, you still have full rights to your kid.
Okay.
So that she still has a saying in every matter of the kid. So legally, she's still allowed to say whatever she wants, you know, she still has an opinion to be made. And if she doesn't agree with it, you know, we can go on different pathways in, you know, child protection, family law court, yeah. And then at that point in time, the mother was not so interested in the kid. The mother was interested in the kid's best interest. And then she just left, you know, you guys deal with it. I can't really deal with it right now. And then she was kind of out of the picture at this time being. And then they're like, oh, child protection will be in contact with you in a couple of days. You know, it'll be swift. 3 weeks have gone by. I haven't heard anything with child protection. The 4th week, a month later, I hear from child protection, get a call. You know, this from child protection. You know, I have your case on file here. You know, what is it called? You're trying to take custody of your child. You know, we just have a few questions for you. You know, we suggest you answer them honestly and truthfully. I'm like, yeah, go on. And then they ask me the questions: where you live, what do you do, have you ever touched drugs in your life? You're like, you can tell us. You know, we're not here to punish you for what you've done. I'm like, okay, you're not here to punish you.
So the child protection is calling you, yeah, finding out if you're on drugs to check if the allegations are true.
Yeah.
And while they're doing that, they're telling you, oh, just tell us, don't worry, you know, we're not here to judge you. It's okay, we're not gonna, like anybody's gonna say, yeah, I'm on drugs, even if you got a fucking needle sticking out of your arm at the time, bro.
And then at that time, I'm thinking, you know, I have still the perception that this is a great system.
Yeah.
You know?
Like they're genuinely working for the rights of the child, yeah.
And then I'm like, no, I don't do any drugs. You're like, oh, do you have any drinks? Do you drink? I'm like, no, I don't drink. And then you go there. You're like, oh, okay, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I'm sure. I'm like, why do you ask? Like, cause there's been these allegations made that you're drug and alcoholic against you. And then I'm like, well, I'm not. And then they're like, oh, you know, we can't, unfortunately, we can't just base it on what you have to say. I'm like, okay. And then they're like, we would like to come to your place. At that time, I started organizing a place in Preston. It was an apartment. I'm like, yeah, sweet, come past. They're like, oh, we'll give you a date. A couple of weeks later, they gave me a date. That was a month later. And then they come to my place. And then they come to my place, they see me, I shake their hands, they shake my hands. And then at that time, I didn't know, yeah. The place where I got in Preston was very nice. It was a very nice place, yeah. It was a very nice apartment, fully furnished, nice view. But the problem was the place itself, yeah, the area was full of junkies. And I didn't know this, yeah. So when they walked in, they shook my hand and then whatnot, and then they started questioning me about everything again. And then they're like, you know, you don't have to worry about it too much. This is just a simple process. This, you know, we have to get out of the way. It's just formalities. I'm like, okay, formalities. And then, what is it called? They handed me a paper for the clinic. They go like, you know, you have to get a drug test done. I'm like, okay, I'll get it done. It's like, you have to get it done by this date.
Did they suggest the drug test, or
You
did
have
they
to.
say you have to?
You have to.
And this was all. It's all determines if you get to see MJ, your baby or not.
Well, I still got to see my daughter.
So what was the point of this drug test? If
It was,
why do you have to?
I have to get, if you want to get custody of my child to see if this is a safe
So at
environment.
that point, they didn't mind leaving your baby with you and leaving.
No, it was all supervised.
Oh,
everything was supervised.
Okay,
everything
okay,
was supervised.
okay,
Baby was never left alone.
Okay, all right.
Unsupervised with me.
Yeah.
So.
And also, let me, just because we fast forward on to you getting a property in Preston. So when the moment from when your mum Drake brought you into the room and they said you can't live in this house anymore, you went and got another home. You moved out of the home, your parents' home at the age of 19, into Preston.
Yep.
So you and MJ could live together.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, continue.
And then, I started, what was it called? Living in Preston. And then they came and they questioned me about everything. They're like, what do you do? What have you done? What do you feel about the kid? What are your best interests? How do you want to raise her? What are you going to do? Your cultural beliefs, religion, and all that stuff. And then in the end, they're like, this is just a simple drug test you have to do. I'm like, oh, okay, it's all right, no problem. He was like, it has to be done within this weekend, because you would understand, drug, if someone is doing drugs, they wouldn't want to do it, they wouldn't delay it.
Well, did you tell them, listen, I'll just give it back to you now? Just wait.
No, I'm like, sweet, I can get it done as soon as possible. You want me to? I don't care.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay. And then I read the actual sheet, because they didn't tell me this. I read the actual sheet. It's like it has to be supervised, the drug test. So it's a piss test, yeah. So you have to pee in a cup. So I go to the one in Craigieburn to do the test.
Swab?
No, it was a pee test. It was a pee test. You have to do a pee test.
Okay, yeah.
And then it has to be supervised. And there was only one lady working there. This is one part of the whole process I found out very fucked up. This was very fucked up, okay? Because look, this is me, yeah? I walked into this clinic. I need to get a piss test done. I'm like, all right, let's go. Let's get this piss test done. And I walk in the clinic, there's only one lady working in the whole clinic, bro. One lady, whole clinic. And she's a hijabi and it's a month of Ramadan, bro.
SubhanAllah. Oh my God.
Now, I feel bad, bro.
Yeah,
I feel bad.
You can't.
I'm like, bro, she's a hijabi. I have to pee. She has to supervise it. And within the religion, it's a wrong.
Of course,
it's
that when you whip out in front of her, bro. You can't
bro.
whip out in front of her, yeah.
And
Absolutely.
then I'm like, are you sure you're comfortable with me doing this? I had to ask her, like, yeah. And then that was the most uncomfortable. I could not piss, bro.
Oh, so you actually did it?
Yeah, I had to do it. I could not piss, bro.
Oh, man.
I'm sitting there. I'm standing there, bro, with the cup in my hand like this. I'm like, this piss is not coming, bro. It's like, oh, it's okay. Go drink some water,
None of you are fasting that day, bro. None of you are fasting that day, bro.
I drink some water. I'm like, damn, this is pretty messed up, bro.
Oh, yeah?
And then eventually I did the piss test. They got the test results, and they're like, oh, it's clear and everything. I'm like, yep, I know. And then they go like, oh, well, we'll start the transition of bringing her over into your care. And then, what is it called? I had it a couple of nights over for the weekends and to get it all set up and whatnot. And then I eventually realized that I can't do Preston because it was an apartment. And then with the apartment, the thing was, there was no kitchen, there was no laundry, okay? And at that time, I didn't understand how essential these two things are, okay?
In raising a child, huh?
Yeah, because I live with my parents.
Yep.
And then I'm like, I was thinking, I'll just get pre-made meals, chuck them in the microwave, blah, 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 bang, done.
Yeah. That's what
And then I'm like, nah, I can't do this. Like, if I want to do it properly, I better do it properly. So I moved back in with my parents, and then the child was still in foster care. And then I started building a very good relationship with the foster parents, the foster people who were caring for my daughter.
And how key was that and everything?
That was key. That was like, I'm grateful for the opportunity they gave me because, they don't know me. I could be anyone. I might have not been druggy or a junkie, but I could be a hitman, bro. I could be anyone, bro.
Yeah.
And that, they invited me over to their house. I had breakfast with them for the first time. It was very nice people, bro. With that relationship, the key part was that I got to learn about a lot about parenting and how it's done, and the gist of it. Because my parents did teach me of as a kid manners and stuff like that, bro. But I never knew how to change a nappy, bro. I don't know how to make a baby stop crying, bro. I don't know what she would need. I don't know how to pick up on her clues and stuff like that. I didn't know all of that stuff.
It's bad to say, Abdus, but let's be real, yeah. Within our type of culture, these are things that us men usually don't worry about anyway.
Yeah. So
You
it's
know
like,
what I mean?
it's like, I'm like, I have to do all this stuff, but
Yeah.
I
This
have
is
to
by
be,
itself, yeah.
I have to be a mum and dad at the same time, so I better pick up on all of this stuff. And then I'm like, all right, let's move out of Preston, move back with my parents, and this was like a Feb time, and then I did from Feb to May, I started building that relationship with the foster parents. They were very nice and kind to me, they welcomed me in their house. They had me over for dinners, and then even after work here and there, I would go to their house to see my daughter. So I was seeing my daughter very frequently. Like out of the 7 days of the week, I was seeing her at least 5 days. So it was good. It was good that I had that time to build that relationship with my daughter. Because my daughter, she was still a baby. She was not sure who I was.
Yeah.
And then her understanding, this is Baba, this is your dad, this is who he is. Was essential for me. It was quite key, because if I want to take her in, I don't want her to be traumatized as well, but pulling her from different environments. So what I did was in May I found a place in the western side.
Okay.
So a proper house.
Yep.
I found a proper house, and then I moved in there, and then I was like, I got to step up, bro. I have to do this, and then.
And you did. And
yeah.
you did. One thing I want to talk about this is also the foster parents. Yeah. How did they help you in navigating the actual foster system?
Yeah. So look, I was talking about how I saw child protection as very helping and kind people and supportive people.
Yeah, they were a positive thing initially.
Yeah, and then that turned off real quick, bro. Those people are the most evil people I've ever met, bro, in my life.
All right, that's big. That's a massive statement.
Most evil people I've ever met in my life. People who are meant to care for children, they don't care for children, bro. They care for their own selfishness and their own pride. Okay? So there was a time, what is it called? They kept asking me, you have to renew this contract there. Your daughter's staying in. And I'm like, okay, we'll renew it. And then they would come back and be like, you can't renew it. You can't have that time. You can't have this, you said you're going to take care of it. And then I'm like, yeah, but I can't do it right now. And then I'm like, so I need to renew this contract. Like, no, you said you're going to do it. Why don't you do it? I'm like, well, I can't. And then she was like, no, you don't get that choice. She's like, I understand what you have to do, but this is your own problem now, okay? I'm like, so, okay, let me get this straight, okay? Yeah. Me as a father, because I pulled out now, it's a big problem. The mother who pulled out from the start, who was out of the picture for so long, you're not going to go back to her and say anything. But you will put all the pressure on me.
Still, she can just pop out at any time and get full custody.
Yes, because you still have full rights legally.
Even though you're still seeing your baby 5 days a week, and you formulated a relationship with these foster parents to the point where they become the godparents, basically, of your baby right now.
Yep.
So, I'm trying to get this straight in my mind. Like, are they looking after the priority of the kids? Because if they were, they would understand that you have a relationship with the foster parents. They'll understand that you're working full time. They'll understand that obviously by them doing a drug test for you that you're not on drugs or alcohol. So the only thing that I can think of why they don't like you, really, let's be real, it's because you're a male.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that's there now, you know what I mean? Like,
at start it was always said, from them it was like, oh, this is great. What you're doing is amazing. You're just stepping up for your daughter. You're going to look after her. And then, what is it called? When I said, I want a little break, I don't want to take her on full time just yet. They're like, nah, that's not how this works. Like, you give us a timeline, you should own up to it. I'm like, yeah, I can't do it. Would you not think of the child's best interest if the father's not capable at the moment?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
She's like, no, we won't keep her there because the foster parents are interfering with this case. We're going to move her from there. We're going to move the child to a different foster carer.
Okay, so now let me repeat this. Hold on. After what I just said about them. And on top of that, now because they know you've got a relationship with the foster parents, they're trying to remove the child from those foster parents to a whole new, disrupting your baby's relationships with people.
Yeah, so mentally, a kid, when a kid's learning mentally, like when they're developing, as they're growing, they need to have that
consistency, bro. She's gonna have attachment issues if she keeps getting taken from one place to another.
And I brought it up to them. I'm like, would that really be in the child's best interest if you're gonna move her from A to B instead of keeping her in A a bit longer and then moving her to her father's place, who's the father already sees her all the time, full time. The father already sees her all the time. I might not take care of overnight, stuff like that. But I was still there all the time.
And you're working towards that progress.
Yeah.
Like you're getting into a home. Like you're doing everything to get to that stage.
Yeah. And I'm like, you see these key factors in place as well, and they're like, nah, like they're interfering with the relationship. They're interfering with the mother's relationship. And like, so what does the mother have to do with this? The mother does not want to, what is it called? Does not want the daughter to have that emotional relationship with the foster parents. I'm like, wouldn't you say you would?
Hold on. The mother that gave up the child to the foster parents, now they're saying that she doesn't want them to be with the foster parents.
Yeah.
But they're saying to you, if you don't take this kid now, then you have no right to the kid.
No, you still have your rights. You still have your rights.
Yeah.
But we can put her into a different foster carer. But if you don't take her, so it was like it was.
So they can be spiteful and just.
It was kind of, in my sense, it's kind of a blackmail. Okay.
Yeah.
You as a father, you don't want anything bad for your kid, right? So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, I really don't want my kid to go through another foster carer. Okay. Because this is pretty good.
Yeah.
So it's either I take her, and that's it. That's the only option I have to protect her, in a sense. Mentally and emotionally.
Absolutely.
So I think that was just like a blackmail card, it's thrown there, we're gonna.
Okay, but my thing is that what does the department gain from this? What do you guys gain from this?
Nothing.
Daughters need fathers. There's studies on this everywhere. The father stepped up to the plate. The mother stepped back and said, I can't do this. Why are you blackmailing the father? This shit pisses me off, man. Anyway, continue. This shit pisses me off, man.
And then they're like, you'll have to make a choice within a certain amount of time, certain amount of days. And then the mother wanted to see the child. I'm like, all right, if you want to treat us all fairly and you want to have everyone say, I'm like, I want the mother to be supervised when she comes to see the child because she hasn't seen the child in so long. I don't know what she does.
It's only fair.
Yeah, I'm like, is that not fair?
It's only fair. Like legally, they should be caring about that as well, right?
Yeah, and then they go like, nah, she can see her unsupervised. I'm like, oh, I don't know how that works. When I was stepped in as a father, I wasn't present. You didn't know me. You know her, but you don't know her for completely. You just know she's the mother, because that has been made pretty clear. Because she was the first person in the picture. And then she's like, nah, she doesn't have to be supervised. Well, yeah, that's crazy talk, that shouldn't be the thing. I'm like, well, clearly it should be, because I don't know who she is. My daughter does not know her at all. It will be traumatizing.
And on top of that, we're not gonna reveal the circumstances in how the daughter was left to the hospital. But they have these documents. Yeah. They know the circumstances that the daughter was left on. Like they know the dangers from the father's side and the mother's side. Yeah.
They know exactly what happened on both sides, yeah? They know exactly what happened. It wasn't all a pretty picture from the mother as well. It wasn't,
exactly.
It was quite fucked up what happened.
But we're not going to reveal that because it's
that's her personal story.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, but you know what happened. You know what it's like, okay? Yeah. You know what the daughter went through, you know what the mother went through, okay? And you know what state of mind the mother could be in, And she hasn't seen the daughter in so long, and now she's, doing something different in life. So now she wants to come in to say hi to the daughter, and take care of her. Not take care of her, but like see her more often, kind of thing, go out with her and stuff like that. I'm like, look, in all fairness, I don't want my daughter to be left alone with her. Not now, because I've known of her quite a long time, the mother, but I don't know who she is now. I don't know what she does. I don't know who she's around. I don't know.
And also, not just her. Yeah, let's take her out of this picture. Postpartum depression is a real thing for everyone. After they give birth, depression kicks in. Infant homicide is a real thing. Where mothers can't handle it, they go through their postpartum depression, they end up murking the child. This shit happens, bro. This shit happens.
If a mother ever kills her own child within a certain amount of time after birth,
they're okay. Like it's not okay.
It's not okay, but
it's not murder.
It's there's like a lot more leeway.
I think it goes down to manslaughter. I think.
Yeah. So through it,
something like that. Yeah.
And to my mind, all these dangers and risks are coming to my head, and I'm thinking, I don't want to put my daughter through this. I think we should supervise this visit. And then she goes like, no, you don't have a say on, we'll go supervise and unsupervised. I'm like, okay. So when the allegations were made against me that I was a drug and alcoholic, every mother had every right. But when I came in and I said, I want it to be supervised, please, because she hasn't seen the daughter in so long. Let's do it swiftly. And then we can work our way to unsupervised, okay? I'm not saying she has to be supervised the whole time, Well, let's just say, you know, she's frequently showing up once a week. She's coming to see the daughter, and then, you know, she's really showing interest. And I'm like, I'll be happy to, you know,
Absolutely.
provide.
Then you're like, okay, you know, yeah, just put in
you know,
work. It is
just
what it is.
yeah, you know, she really wants me part of her life.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, could you provide this? They're like, nah. Like, the mother has full rights. And then I'm like, no, I don't think that's right. She's like, no, this is what we've told you. And
they're talking to you like they're the police now.
yeah, and then I'm like,
and you've committed a crime or something.
yeah, and then I'm pretty sure this is not right. And then legally I have a say in this. And then they go like, you're not a lawyer. And like, if you want legal advice, go get legal advice from someone.
So they started becoming smartasses.
Yeah,
They started talking
yeah,
like smartasses.
like, yeah. And then I'm like, okay, I'll go to a lawyer. So I hired my own lawyer. I hired my lawyer. I'm like, okay, let's see what my lawyer has to say. Like, oh, so you see her 5 times a day? I'm like, yeah. And then she goes like, what's it called? She lives with you? I'm like, no, she does not live with me. She's still with foster carers. But what is it?
5 minutes away from you, basically.
Yeah. So, so I have a part time here and there overnight. And then what is it called? The lawyer goes like, oh, then they shouldn't really have much of a say, you know? It's not their choice. It's clearly your guys' choice. And then, yeah, what is it called?
The lawyer said it's got nothing to do with it.
Yeah, and then they're like, you know, it's your choice and the foster care choice. So they're caring for their child. So it's really up to them whether they want to take the child, what's going to happen. And it's your say as well. So if you want to be supervised, you better advise them. And then my lawyer sending emails out to them, the child protection. And then child protection, these are caseworkers that were saying all this, right? So they were like, you know, they're caseworkers. They don't have any legal information. They don't have any legal knowledge. So what the child protection did was they went off their own lawyers that fight law in child protection court. Yeah, They hired them out to fight for the mother, and they will never admit to this. Yeah, they will never admit to this. They say we're not fighting for it. I'm like, so why did you bring a lawyer on? Why did you bring a lawyer on? Why did you not? Okay, if you wanted to get advice from a lawyer, yeah, you could have went back to your legal department and said, hey, this is the case.
Something through you. You didn't need to hire a lawyer for
and then why am I talking to a lawyer?
Yeah.
Why am I talking to a lawyer? They're saying, hey, this person is in such thing, you know? And I'm like, no, this is not right. I'm like, so you told me to go. So you could have just went to your lawyer, back to your legal department and said, hey, this guy wants this advice. Could you give advice to him? And I wouldn't have to spend thousands of dollars on a lawyer. And then I'm spending money here like an idiot while working full time. And then you want me to do all of this and take care of a daughter. Okay? So I'm telling them, hey man, you know, like I think this is what my lawyer is saying is right. And like, no, she can't be right. You're telling us our own lawyers are wrong. I'm like, my lawyer is not wrong as well. She's not a new lawyer that just graduated from uni.
But even them saying, are you telling us our lawyers are wrong? But I'm not telling you nothing, bro. You got to do what the hell you want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why you? Even the wording that they're picking to use, it's like little kids in the schoolyards.
Yeah.
Like it's continue. That's just.
And then I'm like, okay, you know, you do whatever you got to do. I'm like, my lawyer will deal with you guys. I'm like, I don't want to speak to you guys. I don't want to talk to you guys. I don't want anything from you guys. Okay. And then they're like, that's fine with us. And then they didn't want to communicate with me. I just had my lawyer talking to them, and every email that my lawyer sent me out, bro, it was a couple grand, bro. Got out of my pocket. And then
every enter button they press, like here you go.
Hey guys, that's another check. That's another check. That's another check.
Yeah, that's hideous, man.
And then I'm thinking, bro, I'm not even in court yet, bro. I'm not even in the legal system. And then I'm like, the mother's really trying to see the kid. I'm like, no, that's not happening. I'm like, I need to stop this somehow. So I just kept my daughter home. I'm like, I'm not sending you to daycare, bro.
So you basically took everything into your own hands.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm gonna keep her myself. You can't snatch her off me.
And on top of that, because you spoke to your lawyers said the department can't do nothing.
Yeah.
You've already had a relationship with because obviously you're with MJ every second day, every third day. You live 5 minutes away from the foster parents. You got a relationship with the childcare that she goes to. I built myself a very good support system. You're the father. You've been a father, basically.
Not even the father. I as a father, I would like to say I built a very good support system around me. So I didn't want to just rely on, I'm a father, I can do this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't, okay? Let's just be honest. I'm a 20-year-old man. I didn't know what I was doing. I never took care of a baby, bro. You know? Yeah. So I realized, I can't do this alone. I need someone with me, bro. And I'm not gonna go out and get married or something. So I'm not gonna go to the culture way.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
I didn't want to. I just didn't want to.
Huh?
So I was like, you know what? I'll just what is it called? Build these networks, between the childcare with the foster parents, and I'll learn from there.
Bloody amazing. Now, how was the process to you putting MJ full time into your custody? How was that?
Yeah, so what is it called? We, at that one point, what is it called? The mother took care of, the mother came to the childcare. She demanded for MJ. MJ was at childcare at that point. I was at work.
Yeah.
And childcare, she was apparently the mother was on the phone with one of the child protection workers that, legally have the right to take the daughter. Like, you don't, because you're not on the list. Yeah. Like, no, talk to child protection. I still, to this day, don't know who talked on that phone. I don't know who it was. Okay, and to that child care center, yeah, they should not have let this happen, in my opinion. But
they shit their pants, bro. They hear child protection on the phone. You're thinking, oh.
I mean, half the center is funded by child protection.
Yeah, so of course, bro. They just put one marker on something, then bang, all the funding goes away and this and that. You know?
So now they're thinking, okay, we need to let this kid go, bro. So they let my daughter go. My daughter went to the mother, but a complete stranger in her mind because she hasn't seen her so long. Okay.
How'd that make you feel?
I was furious. I was angry. Yeah. I was pissed off. Yeah. I went to the mother's house and I knew where the mother was. I went to the mother's house. I did not go, what is it called, blasting through her front door.
At that time, were there any restraining orders against you?
Nah, nothing.
There was
nothing
so
like
it wasn't
that.
illegal. You done nothing illegal.
No, I did nothing illegal.
Yeah.
I turned up to her house. What is it called? The foster dad was with me and a few of my mates, okay? Look.
What was the necessity of a few mates and foster?
Look, I didn't know who's going to be there.
I didn't buzz down the door. I went there to there. Then me and a few of my mates, you know. Come on, bro.
Look, it was two guys, and there was me. Okay.
It's intimidating for a woman. Let's be real, Abdus. I'm playing devil's advocate here. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I understand.
It's intimidating for a woman.
I understand now how it was intimidating, you know, and how it could have played out.
Looked, yeah.
And then in my head, I was thinking, you know, there could be anyone over there, you know. What if she has people arranged, you know? What if someone else?
Okay, I see where you're. So people that came with you, they didn't come out of the car. They stayed where they were, and you just went to the talk.
No. I went to the front door first.
Yep.
I rang the bell, and then no one came out, and then eventually, the foster dad came. The mates came outside, so they had cameras around their house, so they knew we were outside. Though it's all of us, and they were like, "Hey, could you please bring MJ out? This is not okay. You know, please bring MJ out." And some of my mates, you know, because they're still young, they weren't the kindness, okay? They did say some shit. They're like, you know, it's your last chance, you know, please bring her. You better bring her out.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
And it was wrong.
Yeah, it was wrong. And the reason why I say you're an incredibly well-spoken, respectable, smart, intelligent young man. But I think you can acknowledge that was a horrible move that you made.
I think I let my emotions get the best of me at that time, you know?
Yep.
And then and then nothing really happened, and then I'm like, okay, let's call the cops. I'm like, you know, this has to be some kind of legal matter. And then I called the cops, and the cops came, and the cops like, you can't do anything.
Get the fuck out of
here. Get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
But it was kind of weird because then I rang child protection next day. I'm like, hey, did you guys give her the go through, the green light that she can take her? They're like, nah, we didn't. And none of us were on the phone to the childcare center. I'm like, so who was on the phone? And then,
did you say no one knows?
And then in my head, I'm thinking they're lying. Either they're lying because they don't want to get in the bad books, you know, like portray as the bad person, without giving me any heads up or anything like that. And then I'm like, okay, what are we gonna do now? I'm like, so where are we at this point? You know, because I wasn't told that I was going to take care of my daughter, you know, pretty soon. But now the mother has her, so where are we going? Not a problem. Go deal with the mother. I'm like, the mother's blocked me on a number. I can't even call her. I can't even text her. I can't even get through her.
Wow.
But I can't even go to her house now.
That could have turned ugly, because if you were unstable, if you were a bit reckless, and they just said go deal with the mother after the mother basically kidnapped your daughter.
Yeah, and then I'm like, okay, can you please ask her to unblock my number? Can you please tell her to contact me? I want to talk to her. I want to resolve this issue. And they go like, oh, you know, we've spoken to her. She said she has unblocked. I'm like, well, how does every time I ring the phone, bro, it goes, sorry, the number you've called is not available at the moment. Please try again.
But why are they acting as intermediaries? Why are they in the middle saying, yeah, no, she didn't block the phone? Or yes, she did block the phone.
Because they could lie on both sides, okay? Eventually, the mother unblocked me on the caller, whatever it was. She might have not blocked me. It would have been something else, you know?
Whatever the situation.
Yeah, whatever the situation was, because there was two sides to each story, you know?
It's always, yeah.
And I eventually started talking to the mother, you know, I'm like, you know, what do you want to do? what do you think is the best thing?
I'm sorry to cut you off. How long did she have MJ for? How long did she have your baby for while she took her from the childcare?
So she had her for 10 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
10 days.
So 10 days she had her for, and then and then she took her for 10 days, and then between when she took her, I think a couple of days after it, we started talking, and she gave me a call, and then I was like, so how do you want to work this out, you know? Because I still want to see my daughter, you know, and I think you realize that she needs me in her life as well. She's like, yeah, I acknowledge that. You need to be in her life as well. We need to come in an agreement. How can I trust you that you won't just run away with her? But I'm not planning to run away with her at all. I want you to be part of her life as well, but I don't want it to be as dramatic of a change. I don't want it to be like, ka-chow, this is your mother, you know, blah, 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 blah.
And then all different, boom,
yeah,
your father.
I don't want that. I'm like, look, we can take it as slow as possible, and then eventually she'll start realizing. She'll start calling you mom. She will acknowledge that.
Yeah.
But it will be slowly.
You can't get angry at a child for not calling you mom if they don't feel like you're the mom. That's just what it is.
She's only a year old.
Yeah.
You need to understand. She does not know everything that's going on in her head. She's not like a 5-6-year-old who would understand what's mom and what's dad. You know, like it will all come with time. And then we talked it over, and then she goes like, okay, I'll think of a written thing to write on a paper, my demands and your demands, and I'll take it to my lawyer. Whatever we agree on, we'll take it to court, and we'll get it stamped. Instead of fighting in court and spending all the money,
we'll do it outside of court.
Yeah.
And
then that really showed me that child protection was unnecessary. You don't need that, bro.
Yeah. So
in my head, I'm thinking child protection, the root of evil, were lying to both of us.
It's almost like they were gassing her up the whole time to keep doing all of this.
So they were saying stuff like, if you really want to take him to court, because every time you start a family law court proceeding, it has to go back to child protection, and child protection has to assess the proceeding first, and that's why you have to be in the good graces if you want to really have your child. So I wasn't in the good graces. Like, you know, we can just write you as a good person, even though you didn't see your kid, whatnot, but we'll still write you off, and you know, you can still get custody of your child. So they basically gave her a thing, you know, do whatever the fuck you want, but we will get you your child, no matter what. But with me, the guy who was seeing it full time, you know, taking care of a daughter, they're like, you know, fuck him.
Because I didn't like you.
Yeah, they didn't like me. They didn't like me because I was questioning them. Because I was.
Even though your daughter was happy with you, safe with you, everything, just because they didn't like you.
They didn't like me. If he ever came into the foster parents' house, and we all were together as a family, and you saw how happy she was and how like she would laugh, like a child's laugh is the most precious thing ever.
Oh yeah.
And then when she came back from her mother's, you know, she had this sad face. She was like.
I mean, the fact that the foster parents love you and treat you as a son now as well, that speaks a lot of you and the father that you are. You know what I mean? Like, they're certified foster parents. They've been foster parents for how much other kids?
I think 20-something kids.
20-something kids. So for them to say that you're a good guy, they've seen many people.
They've seen many cases. They've seen a lot of stuff that has happened. So within those 10 days went past. Eventually, we came to agreement that she thinks it's best that I have my daughter in my care for now, because she can't take care of her full time because of her job, whatnot, whatever the situation was at that point. So it came back into my care.
So what was the point of all this, bro? What was the point of the last 6 months, huh?
So
what was the point of putting MJ through all of this shit, bro?
Nothing. It was just
the ego. Give me that run around like this, brother. Huh? Just running.
That's what it was. I'm telling you, these guys are so petty. They don't want. They want full control. They want everything. I'm like, look, if the case was fucked up, if I was a junkie and I was like a fucked up dad, like I was completely off the rails, then I understand. Step in and take that child out of there. Do it. But bro, there's nothing bad going on in here, bro. We don't need you. The moment I talked with the mother, everything was resolved, bro. Until this day, the mother sees the child, bro. Nah. And everything's fine.
Now I've seen messed up kids like this. I grew up in the area. That was messed. I grew up in the area, the 100% housing commission. 4,500 homes in the area. You've got a wide spectrum of fuckery. I've seen babies in the same diapers for 2 days straight still stay with their parents. I've seen parents running around with the 1-year-old on their arm, chasing, trying to get some heroin. Still getting it from the person, running back, doing what they need to do. I've seen police rock up to that house and not do nothing about it, walk back out and leave the kid there. This is what we're dealing with, guys. This is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with favoritism. We're dealing with a system that doesn't look at cases as a case-by-case situation. They're looking at situations of, okay, how much money can I make off this? Can I get these kids off our books? Because, all right, now they need to get off the books. They've already been our books for a year now.
See, the problem with MJ was, to the child protection was that there was no danger assist. There was no danger, so she was not in child protection custody. So she was not in a protective order custody, okay? She was on a, what's it called? I forgot the actual agreement's name, but it's when the parent agrees, the foster parent agrees, and there's just an agency who signs it over. So the child protection wasn't needed.
There's no legal bounds.
Yeah, so they couldn't assess any danger. So that wasn't even more annoying in that fact. When you can't assess danger, the father's clean, the father's good, the foster parents are clean, they've been fostering for so long, everyone's clean. What are we doing here? What is the danger?
You can't shit on those foster parents because even though like they've fostered over 25 kids, you can't shit on them, bro. They've done that regular, like perfectly,
exactly,
unblemished.
Yep.
So you can't, they can question you. All right, 20-year-old, this, that, whoa. But when they're vouching for you, it's wild, man. It's wild. But it's a system that we're in. Yeah.
The main thing that I got out of it, the whole thing was, after contacting the mother, after the mother taking her and then giving her back, is that all we needed to do from the start was me and the mother contacting each other. That's it. And at that point in time, the MJ never called the mother mum. Nothing like that. She used to cry when she used to see the mother. She used to get angry. It's like, don't leave me here. She used to be petrified of her. But now she's happy, bro. Every time she sees the mother, she's happy. She's like, come play. She gets excited. She calls her mom. She's screaming. It came with time, bro. It wasn't a jumping gun, bro.
Child protection had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, that had nothing to do with this, but they were way out of the picture back then.
This is the thing. Look at this. This is why I want your story to be out there, bro. Because these child production bloody agencies, they're not there to help anybody, bro.
Nah.
They're there to ruin families, yeah? Now, if there was ever a chance for anything to be going well with you two guys ever again, I think they played a big role in putting a fork in that road.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
I think also, I've seen kids, Abdus, yeah? I've seen a lot of people that I know, children being taken away, and they've taken to a place where they're just completely different, yeah? Never to be seen again. Grown, raised in a different culture, raised in a different everything, you know what I mean? And it's like, my theory is that this is deliberate, bro. I genuinely think that child protection is there just to make sure that shit's always unbalanced. Yeah,
look, they have their own views and opinions, and they have their own movement that what they want to portray. So if a man comes into a play with what they have to portray as feminism, I don't think it's right. I don't think that's okay. You can't give mother everything she wants because she's the mother. Mm-hmm. That's not how it works.
It's not how it works.
It's not how it works. And I've heard stories of child protection sending kids back to the same place where they took them out from because they could not. Funding couldn't happen.
Bro, the stories of child protection sending kids to a house, back to a freaking home where the mother's a drug addict. Yeah. And that kid ends up getting molested because they're just random people going in and out of that house.
Yeah.
This shit happens regularly.
There's
we need to take this serious, guys, yeah? One thing that I say is, obviously, you've managed to now get yourself out of that situation.
Yeah.
Now, alhamdulillah, full custody of MJ. MJ's with you every night.
Yep.
You take her to childcare, you go to work, you come back home, pick her up, everything. You cook for her dinner, this, that, whoop. My thing is we need to keep our families away from the child protection agencies, man. Away from child protection agencies, away from police, away from all of these situations and then the law. Because once you're within the law, once you're in the legal system, it's too hard to get out of it, man. They'll just bounce you around from one courtroom to another. Whether it has something to do with children.
Why not?
Whether it has something to do with any sort of petty crime. Whether it has anything to do. So, I just want to wrap this up in a way that we bring the power and accountability back to us, yeah? You went through an incredibly unfortunate situation. You've seen the light at the end of the tunnel. Now you've got your baby full time. You've got a roof over your head. You've got a well-paying job. You're not in a warehouse. You're not in McDonald's. You're doing well. One thing that I want you to look down that camera and tell the people is, what would you have done better in this situation, knowing that you know now what you know now? You head back to the Abdus, 18-year-old Abdus. What would you change?
What would I change? It's a tough question because a lot of the choices that I made is the reason I'm here, is who I am, what I'm today. One thing that I would change is not like get my emotions get the best of me. There was a lot of times that I haven't mentioned yet that the emotions did get the best of me, and eventually will come out, you know, whatever I did. But like, as an 18-year-old, I would like to say I was still young, and I was sometimes reckless. I didn't care much about anything, and I was getting out of school. I just had no faith in myself at that point, until I heard about my daughter, until I heard about all this stuff, and I'm like, you know, I found a purpose in my life. You know, this is it. This is what I have to do. This is what's going to be, and really taking that action, taking that responsibility on board. I think that's the best thing anyone could ever do. That's something that I could change. Nothing really. The only thing I could change is having a better relationship with my own parents and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you know,
that's great stuff, Abdus. And one thing that I do notice of you is that you're really good at taking accountability. At all stages of this process, you took accountability for all the actions that you took, the missteps that you took, and there's this saying, yeah, that I love. It's amor fati. It's a Latin saying phrase. Amor fati is the love of fate. It's not accepting anything as bad or anything as good, but it's realizing that whatever comes. If I look at anything too negative, then I'm not going to be able to get out of that situation. If I look at anything too positive, I'm not going to be able to get out of that situation. Abdus, what piece of advice and suggestion do you have for the people out there?
I think I can only give advice to the people, as in who are the fathers, okay? As young fathers especially, who have just had a kid or, you know, don't know what to do and they're still in the mix. I would say, take the responsibility, take it on, still your kid. The one thing you'll never get back is your time. You'll never get it back. And as a 20-year-old, it might sound stupid that, you know, you're never gonna get time back. Like, if you have plenty of time, you're gonna be 30. But once you're 30, you can't be a 20 again. And if you had a kid when you're 20, you better take care of the kid now. Because in 10 years' time, you can't control what that kid has to say about you. You can only control it by the way you portray the kid, your actions, how much love you give that kid. That's all you have. So I would just say, you know, be responsible, you know, look out for each other, and basically, you know, help's always out there, you know. Reach out to people, you know, don't keep it in, and that's about it.
Reach out to anybody, reach out to us.
Yeah.
Mess up in the DM if you're a father out there, if you're a man, if you're a woman, if you're anybody, if you're a kid that's about to mess up and about to crash out, don't hit us up in the DM. There's always someone to talk to. Hit someone else in the DM.
Yeah.
Call your family, call somebody. Try to find ways to de-escalate, because it can end up bad. And once you're into the system, there's no way of getting out of it.
Yeah. The lesson would be to place yourself in uncomfortable positions. If you're comfortable where you are for too long, you're never going to grow. So place yourself in uncomfortable positions. You know, you might not like it, you might like it, okay? So you'll never really learn until you place yourself in that uncomfortable situation and just grow from it, bro. That's all it is.
You're right. Hey, you said that 3 times, right? It's right, bro. It's loud and clear. Mr. Abdus Haida, amazing conversation, brother. One of the best conversations I've had, cuz.
Yeah.
Really appreciate
Thanks,
it.
man.
You've got a powerful story. Hopefully it reaches out to the people. I just want to leave you guys with that message. It was a powerful episode. I thank you very much, Mr. Abdus Haida.
Yeah, thank you for having me on, buddy.
No worries at all.
Appreciate it for you letting the people hear my story.
No worries, mate. Anytime. And that's another episode. Take care.